Hello.
And welcome to Film
Bastards. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to episode 543 of Film Bastards. My name is Ian Loring, and as always, I'm joined by
Becky Foster, hello everybody.
And Matt Foster, hello everybody.
Coming up on this week's show, I'll try and remember to edit out pee breaks, and we will also have a review. We've only got the one main review this week, which is Jeff Nichols' new film, the Mark Knipp looking The Bikeriders. We'll catch up with some what we've been watching because we didn't record last week, so we've got lots to talk about there. I think we probably have some movie news. We definitely have some trailers. Definitely got at least one Twitter question that I've seen. So yeah, nice. So we got a fair bit there. Don't usually plug this, but feel free to send us email communication as well, filmbastards@gmail.com. I had a look at it the other day for the first time in maybe close to a year and hadn't had any emails, so that's great.
Probably for the best if we're not checking it though.
No, quite. But I will. I'm gonna put it out there, filmbastards@gmail.com. But also we are a Pod Syndicate podcast, so please do listen to like-minded shows such as Entertainment Landfill, Chinstroker vs Punter, and his film movie, which is actually gone away. So you can listen to that. But you can also listen to the Rewatch Project. I've just started doing Twin Peaks: The Return.
Yeah.
So, movie news. The "We are so back, we're so dead" narrative takes another twist as Inside Out 2 apparently has a $100 million second weekend in the US. Only dropped a third, which is pretty stunning. And I think that
too, hasn't it?
yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Quite handily. I mean, even Denis Villeneuve came out saying, "I'm actually quite sad that we're still the highest grossing film of the year this year because we're in blockbuster season."
Just a real clever place of where they've put the movie. Releasing. It's a real clever. I think that the dumbidity, I'm going to call it, which isn't a word, so I'm kind of like playing with that. The dumbidity of how scheduling has gone the past sort of like, I would say, 14 months of releasing films, it is contributing to this. Be better at scheduling where you're going to release your movies.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's smart because, there is some kids' product out there, but not too much. You had the Garfield movie out in May. That had a few weeks. I mean, that's kind of like getting towards 100 million in the US. I think it's doing all right internationally as well. So that's washed its face. Only cost like 60 million to produce as well. So making money. You've got Inside Out 2 in June, and then there's basically a 4-week gap, and then it's Despicable Me 4.
Yeah.
So it is actually spaced out very well. It's just there's also not a lot of it. But Inside Out 1 is very well liked. I'll talk about Inside Out 2 later, but it's certainly not shit. And it definitely feels very engineered to be as broad audience as humanly possible. But also, I think the fact that maybe it's a sign that families are like, yeah, shit, that's out in the cinema, that's not on Disney Plus, or won't be on Disney Plus soon, might be working as well. Like, Inside Out 2 will not go on Disney Plus for a good few months at this point.
Yeah, you're talking about probably the autumn now.
Yeah, it's going to be like September, October time. And that, which is good news, to be honest. Yeah.
There's an element of they needed to have something to kind of take the power back a little bit and to get back into the idea of Pixar being prestige animation. And I think it's a good thing that Inside Out 2 has pulled that back. I think they did what they did, but then they ended up devaluing it a little bit, and now they've kind of added that extra level back to it of going, no. You need to go. You need to. This is a day out. This is a morning out, an afternoon out, an evening out for families. There you go. And it almost creates that event thing again.
Yeah, I will say I'm a little disappointed by a Pete Docter, ex-Pixar director, now like head of Pixar, coming out and basically saying, this was before Inside Out 2 actually came out, but like they basically need to double down on, I'm paraphrasing, but double down on the core properties. And it was something like not have like individual filmmakers tell their stories and instead try to do things that touch to more broad experiences that everybody feels. So basically he was saying like the likes of Turning Red, the likes of Luca, don't expect to see them coming out the studio again, which is an awful statement critically. Well, not critically, like just in terms of artistry. But the success of Inside Out 2 does kind of play to that, I think. It'll be interesting to see how Ilio does next year. That got pushed from this year to next year, which is, it's an original story. Kid gets abducted by aliens. Feels like it's maybe not going to be having too many metaphors about puberty and getting your period in Ilio. That would be a surprise.
I think a better idea would be stop spending $200 million on kids movies. They don't need to cost that much. It's just, I don't know. There's an element of you'd hope that it's because the tech guys behind it are getting paid the right amount of money, yet they're probably not.
I don't know. I feel like part of that budget is part of that. Like the fact that Garfield cost like 60 million, there is some. How much crunch did those people have to work to?
I mean, the other bit
do that then.
Despicable Me. So Inside Out 2 is topping 200 million budget. But Despicable Me 4 apparently is around about half of that. But there's a strong likelihood is Despicable Me 4 will end up taking more money than Inside Out because fucking people love the Minions. All power to it. Crack on.
The voice casting is Despicable Me 4, if that's the case. They must be taking some back end. That's a... I mean, Steve Carell, Kristen Wiig, Will Ferrell's in this new one, I think. Like, I'm surprised they're not commanding some pretty fat paychecks. But then again, I mean, like, I suppose if I'd take the back end and take a lower upfront for Despicable Me 4. That's a pretty safe bet, isn't it? So
that's it. But I mean, Inside Out, even when that came out, that was $175 million, and that was, 9 years ago? Despicable Me 3 was $80 million. And that's
wild.
That was, 5 years ago? 6 years ago?
Yeah, like 18, 19, I reckon.
Yeah. It's just... And do you know what? If it's because Disney / Pixar are paying their animators a fairer wage, fuck it, $200 million, like you say, Inside Out 2 is made up of $500 million, so fair enough. But I just don't trust they are.
Yeah, no, quite.
But if Lewis Black is getting is banking 20 million for that film, then let's fucking go.
Well, I mean, it was interesting because it was basically reported that Bill Hader and Mindy Kaling didn't come back because they were both offered fuck all. Like, I heard, like, they were offered 50 grand or something like that.
Fucking hell. Which, 50 grand is... That's the minimum they can be offered, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, maybe it was 500 grand, but it was like a low amount. Apparently, the only one of them who really got a proper payday this time around was Amy Poehler.
I mean, fair enough. It's a weird one. It's a weird one, but I do think that if you're going to make an outright kids movie, I think you can entertain kids for less than $200 million. I mean, fucking Garfield did it, and that film looks like garbage. And I don't mean the content of the film; I mean the look of the film makes it look like garbage.
I think
It makes it look a little bit like that Mexican Top Cat movie from about 15 years ago.
Oh, yeah. But no, I mean, Inside Out 2 is already up to 724 million globally.
Fucking hell.
Like, that's fucking wild. But we need a few billion dollar grosses a year just to keep the wolf from the door.
I think there's biggies coming this year. I think Despicable Me 4 will do very well because I think you'll end up with Gentleman Minions happening again, which is annoying, but you know what? Fuck it. You know, you got that. Sorry, go on. If they're going and they're watching the movie and they're not being twats during it, then I'm kind of alright with it. I just have a feeling they will end up being twats throughout it.
I want the other films to be okay as well. Like Deadpool and Wolverine is going to do $1 billion. It's currently tracking for over 200 million in the US opening weekend.
Yeah,
that thing's going to be fine. But like Twisters comes out the week before.
That'd be nice if that top a tasty little 600 million, wouldn't it?
Yeah. If that thing could get, even if that could get to like 400 million worldwide, I think they'll be happy with that. Yeah. I mean, you know, like obviously more would be good as long as the film is good. But yeah, we'll see. Shot on film, Twisters apparently as well. So that's lovely to hear. But yeah, I don't know. It feels like things are okay. Like Bad Boys Ride or Die, doing very well. What's that up to now?
I mean, that should do very well because it's just a joyous time.
Well, yes, I mean I agree. 250 million so far. Interestingly, US performance actually outpacing international, which doesn't happen with blockbusters a lot. But yeah. I mean, you know, 250 million. That thing's gonna do over 300, and it cost 100. So
it will get Bad Boys 5 made, which is a good thing.
Yeah, no, exactly. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, 380 million. That is absolutely A-OK for that film.
Yeah, people love those apes.
Yeah. You know, even the Bikeriders did 10 million in the US. It's a really good result. We'll talk about it in a bit, but like Kinds of Kindness did 750,000 on fuck all screens.
Was it like literally like 7 screens or something like that? It was something insane.
Yeah, it's single digits for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me see if I can get that up.
I swear it was something like it tracked at
5.
5, yeah. So it was like 75k per screen or something like that.
Yeah, it's yeah, that's right. 350 grand, 75k a screen, yeah, which is that'll do. You know, that'll do. Yeah, but getting a wider release next week. So, again, at the moment, the narrative is things are going to be all right. You know, the news we talked about on the last show about Sony buying Alamo, that's kind of interesting. You know, and there was I heard more discussion about that. And it was a good point raised on our podcast I was listening to about the fact that Sony don't have a streaming service, but now they have a cinema chain in the US. You know, like that's an interesting point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So things seem to be okay at the moment. But beyond all that, yeah, I don't know. That'll do. Oh, no, actually, hang on. Donald Sutherland passed, didn't he? Which is just, real... Oh, you still there? Sorry.
Yeah, no, yeah. That was one of yours, wasn't it, Bex, where you'd said when Donald Sutherland goes, that's going to be a hard one to take, wasn't it? He was top level for you, wasn't he?
Yeah, I was walking to meet you, actually, when I got a notification through on my phone, and people... turned around to look at me because I just went as I was walking along, and it's just like, I don't know, hit me that one.
That was a fucking titan of the fucking screen. That you know, that guy. I think the best way you can sum up Donald Sutherland is presence.
Such a suave motherfucker, isn't he?
That guy is not classically good looking, but he is he is charisma. And as well, just like his sheer body of work from what he played, from going from Willem Dafoe. I saw someone talking to Willem Dafoe about it, and he was saying that Willem Dafoe was saying that he's the actor I looked up to most because he'd do everything. He'd do blockbusters, he'd do art house, he'd do comedy, he'd do experimental films, he'd do horror, he'd do roles where he was like the hero, he'd do roles where he was the villain, he did everything. So then I asked him about it once, and he said, just do everything, do as much as you can, experience every little bit you can, because at some point you're not going to be able to.
That's it, his body of work's fucking huge. And the thing is as well, like, it was 88, wasn't it? It's not like he stopped working.
No.
Like, right up until, like, what?
I also
2023 was in a film.
Yeah.
2022 was in a film.
I also think I know
fucking
why.
Moonfall.
I know why more people haven't seen it, but I also do think he has played one of cinema's most underrated just villains.
Go on.
In 1900, and people haven't seen it because it's 5.5 hours long, and it's about fascism in post-war Italy, in pre and post-war Italy, and he plays like head fascist in it. But I mean, I think it's touching 6 hours. I think, but his role in part 2 of that movie as like the head of essentially the fascist Italian forces, it is spectacular, and just he gradually gets more insane as the thing goes along. The more depraved he gets, the more insane he gets.
Can you still not get the uncut version of that?
We have the uncut version on DVD, the one that was recalled, and we just didn't recall it. Like they got sent out as like a shipment, and then it was like it looks recalled, and they actually wrote to it. They actually got an email saying, "Could you send this back? It's not supposed to be there." And I was like, "Well, no, obviously I'm not going to send it back." So yeah.
You could probably get some money for that.
Probably could, yeah. It's still wrapped as well. But yeah, it's the...
Not for long.
It might be available. I might keep that one wrapped just in case, because it is like the... Yeah. It's the ultimate... I mean, the thing is, the extra bits that you've got are not pleasant. They're not bits you want to fucking see.
Yeah, but you don't want to not see them either. If they were made and they were part of the movie, they should be in there.
I don't know.
Some fucking pearl clutching fucking pain in the arse going.
I mean, one of it's a child's brain.
It's fine. It won't be a real child's brain.
Well, obviously, I don't think it's a real child's brain. I don't think so. I mean, it was made in Italy by Bernardo Bertolucci. I think they might have let him, but I doubt it.
Well then, so what's the fucking issue?
I just think it's an unpleasant film.
Right? Is it meant to be?
Yeah.
Is it a cautionary tale against fascism?
Probably.
Well then, it's not supposed to be pleasant, is it?
It's good though, but it is near 6 hours long. Well, actually, it's over 6 hours long. 317 minutes.
I've never seen that movie, and it's very heavily influenced my life in ways that I will not disclose on the podcast. But yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it's
I've got a fetish for child's brains, if that's what you're getting from that, by the way, just FYI.
It's just there's no the part 1 ends with Donald Sutherland's character turning up at they have like a farm, essentially. De Niro's character, his family has a farm, and he turns up there to basically overtake the farm. land that's been passed over to the Italian forces. And he explains fascism by essentially tying a cat to a post and saying, this is what you have to do to people who oppose you. And then just runs forward and smashes his head into the cat on the post. And then sort of wanders around looking at all of the people that work at this farm and in the house with just all this cat's basically guts all over his face, just pulling it off his hand and licking it, and just staring at them with these Donald Sutherland's eyes and saying nothing. And the whole scene runs for about... It's a long film, so that one's for about 8 minutes, which in a normal film would seem like a long time. In this, it's a breeze, like 30 seconds, like blinking, it's gone. But it's just, you watch it going, this is just fucking just... Why, Donald? Why?
See, given that it's a Bernardo Bertolucci movie and it's Italian and it's like had loads of stuff cut out of it, I would be more concerned about that scene than the child's brain scene.
Oh, the child's brain scene is the end of the actual movie where he's gone completely insane.
Yeah, but I know that's not a real child's brain. If it was anyone other than Donald Sutherland in this movie, I would be thinking, shit, did he actually headbutt the fuck out of a cat? But I don't think Donald Sutherland would do that.
No. But anyway, yeah, Donald Sutherland, what a fucking guy.
It's not Brando, is it?
No.
I don't know whether that's the right way to leave that. He's not Brando, is he? I know kind of out of context. I mean, it doesn't sound great. Anyway.
Oh, I mean that it
no, I
has
know.
better morals than Marlon Brando.
It's like, that's just going to be your quote, though. And he wasn't Brando, was he?
Well, no, he didn't die fat and gross, so...
Fucking hell, Bex. Leave Brando alone.
No.
What have you got against Brando? Actually, I'm sure there's plenty that you could have against Brando, to be fair. Oh, dear. Right, okay.
Butter comes to mind.
Sorry?
Butter comes to mind.
Blah.
Yeah.
Right, trailers.
What have we got? What have we got going on? So, Smile 2.
Yeah. Hey, look, fair play. Smile did really well. A film that was meant to go to streaming and didn't, and it ended up doing really well. I saw it in Dolby Cinema in Florida, in like the most high-end way of watching a low-end film kind of dichotomy I've ever had, and it was wonderful.
Had one of the best marketing campaigns of recent memory.
Yep, cannot wait for whatever they do with it for this.
Yeah, because they won't do the same thing. They'll do something like akin to it, but I think they'll up it.
Yeah. And look, I mean, he's gone for a different tack as Parker Finn, the writer-director. You know, it kind of like... the scale's going to be upped. I've already heard one theory about the ending of the film that does feel incredibly plausible. I won't say it here just in case it does happen, but it's almost like doesn't take a genius to work out what could happen with this.
Is it that Smiley, the orange smile face, just jumps through a wall and shouts, "Oh yeah"?
Yes. I told you it was obvious. But no, look, I mean, I just like the fact that the scale looks bigger, the production value's bigger. You know, right from the start, it's like you've got... There's obviously like songs in this and performances and whatnot, and I mean, good on Paramount for giving him more money. But a bit of news that we missed as well: Parker Finn is next apparently going to be doing a remake of Possession with Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
I mean, fair play. Dude is making a name for himself. He's stepping up, and you know, this might just be like Deadline being Deadline, but they're or Hollywood Reporter, one of the two. But they're saying that Paramount are very, very high on Smile too. So yeah, and I mean, I'm not surprised. I think it's a good trailer.
Yeah, it is. And that end shot in the trailer of the smile being the blood from where someone's just been run over is really quite clever.
Yeah. It's cool seeing it. Like, I just remember when the trailer came out, and people were just like, "Oh, that's the trailer where the person's head, like, the person comes up to the car and then their head's hanging down at the end. Oh, that looks really goofy." And then it turned out to actually be quite the hit.
Yeah.
And now you've got this, and it looks like, all right, here's what you can do when you give him some money.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
it's
cracking.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Fly Me to the Moon.
I didn't watch this new trailer myself.
You don't need to. It just looks
Crap.
Yeah, it looks really like you're going, why are all you people there? Why did all you people sign on to do this?
What's the thing where there's like someone makes fun of someone and they're like, "Oh look, he's trying to think."
It's in Twin Peaks.
That's how I feel about Channing Tatum when he tries to do serious roles.
But this doesn't look that serious.
He's trying to act. Look at him.
I like Channing Tatum as an actor.
Oh,
actually.
he's... No.
But yeah, the problem I think I have with what Flying to the Moon looks like is I'm looking at going, you're all wearing wigs. You're all wearing wigs.
Probably get best fucking like wardrobe at the Oscars or whatever.
But
It's
just they're so obviously it's too over stylized as, hey look, 60s. Like, but that isn't what the 60s look like. That's what the cereal box of the 60s look like.
So can I just clarify? So they're making a movie of the rumour that the moon landing was faked.
No, they're making a movie of the idea that there was a backup fake movie shot of the moon landing.
Why?
Why make anything? Because why not?
I want this to be good, and I want it to do well, because we're not getting a lot of rom-coms on the big screen.
Good.
But if they're doing that, they need to pitch it as a rom-com, because this trailer does not.
Okay.
It pitches it as like a zany kind of caper movie almost, doesn't it?
Yeah, it just doesn't look very good.
I am looking forward to what's his name, Jim Rash, as the director though.
Fairs.
That's about it. Just 'cause I think we need more Jim Rash in our lives.
Yeah.
Alright. The Front.
The front room.
Oh, the front room?
Is that what it's called? The Front Room? Yeah,
Yeah.
there we fucking go. Yeah.
I really, really hope it turns out there's nothing supernatural going on and she's just a horrible racist.
It just looks like absolute fucking garbage. Hot garbage at that as well.
I'm quite looking forward to it.
I think it looks just... honestly, I was watching going... No.
Who looked at the world and went, "Do you know what? Do you know what we need to bring back? Brandy."
It's like... It's A24 going, hey, look. We're going to make a race-themed horror. It's like, do you have to at the moment?
I feel like towards the end, I thought there was a hint that they might be going for some kind of dark comedy vibes to it as well.
Yeah, the more that trailer went on, the more I hated it.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I was like, I want to give this a shot.
But yeah, it just wasn't my bag.
Weird fucking title though. Weird title. The Front Room.
Yeah, it doesn't even look like she's in the front room either.
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
A Real Pain.
Oh, I didn't. Fuck! I meant to catch this. This is the Jesse Eisenberg directed one.
Yeah, Jesse Eisenberg and Kieran Culkin appearing to just go on a bit of a road trip around Poland.
It depends. It depends how much they lean into it. Because if it looks from the trailer like it's obnoxious Americans being obnoxious in Poland. If they try and pitch it as they're just people in Poland and they're that obnoxious in the trailer, then that's going to be quite annoying. But if they are specifically meant to be obnoxious Americans, then I think that will be fine. I think that'll be quite funny.
Yeah, I definitely think that's what it's going for.
But I don't know, because...
What?
I think... Americans have a bit of a reputation for being incredibly obnoxious abroad, so this might just be like a road trip movie. Do you know what I mean? And they think this behaviour
I'm
is
kind
fine.
of just up for Kieran Culkin just being allowed to wander around and be a bit sweary and a bit...
Yeah, I mean, we'll come to this with a movie that I watched in the week, but I think it's done his ability an awful lot of good being the less cute, not Home Alone starring brother in that family.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely had the better career.
He's a significantly better actor.
He is, yeah. Macaulay just isn't that bothered. He's just happy just...
Being the Home Alone kid.
Yeah.
Making bank.
Just making bank. Yeah.
With his hot wife.
That and having kids and just kind of having survived it. And Rory's off somewhere. I don't think I even know where Rory is.
Yeah, I think Macaulay Culkin was kind of... He walked across hot coals so the others could run.
Yeah.
I think, and had quite a difficult transition into adulthood, didn't he? Didn't he have to get emancipated?
Yes.
Showbiz parents, eh?
Got Doug Liman's new one, The Instigators, co-written by Casey Affleck.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think so far?
Oh, I think I might have actually watched it. It's got Matt Damon in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This looks boring, doesn't it?
Yeah, kinda. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't. Yeah, I mean, okay, cool. He's got to rob some shit because he needs some money. Great. I don't. It didn't feel like there was anything in this that made it particularly stand out.
No, it's weird. Doug Liman's having a weird time.
Yeah, I mean, is he going to be pissed off that this one isn't going to get, or is it actually this one probably will get a cinema release because it's Apple?
But
yeah,
it's just like he has such an up and down career. Does Doug Liman?
Oh, is it the Roadhouse guy?
Yeah,
I already rewatched that.
but like American Made was a really good film and was really like well liked, and then since then he's done Lockdown, Chaos Walking, Roadhouse, and then we got The Instigators coming up.
Maybe he's just not a very good filmmaker.
Strange, very strange. Good cast though.
What, in The Instigators?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt Damon, Casey Affleck, Paul Hauser, Michael Stuhlbarg, Vin Rhames, Alfred Molina, Ron Perlman.
He skipped over Toby Jones.
Because I said it was a good cast.
There's Toby Jones in it.
Yep.
You're not a fan, are you?
Nope. Toby Jones falls into one of those guys of just because he looks like a character actor and he appears in British movies that that people like doesn't mean he's a good actor.
Is it Toby Jones that's in the bad Capote movie?
He's fine. In the bad what?
Capote movie.
No, I don't think so.
No, yeah, he was in the one that wasn't. Oh no, Capone. I thought you said Capote.
I did, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Infamous, the Sandra Bullock one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does he play?
Capote, yeah.
Does he? I don't think that's him. I thought it was Nathan.
Yeah, it came out like the same year as Capote, and or like around the same time, and no one paid attention to it.
Well,
Yeah, it's like that year that Two Magicians movie came out.
The Illusionist and the Prestige.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wild.
Except The Illusionist is actually all right.
I've seen that movie and I didn't even notice it was him.
Yeah, whereas, yeah. And they're both about the same thing, aren't they? About the In Cold Blood.
Yeah.
Fucking banger is In Cold Blood. Have you read that?
Yes, you made me read it.
Really good.
Like literally almost at gunpoint.
It's really good, that's why. Better than any of his fiction. And I like Breakfast at Tiffany's as a book, but In Cold Blood's...
Have we got any other trailers?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think we do we? You got any other specs?
No, I don't think so.
Fucking hell.
Okay. Let's move on to The Bikeriders, written and directed by Jeff Nichols, starring Jodie Comer, Austin Butler, Tom Hardy, Michael Shannon, Mike Feist, Boyd Holbrook, Norman Reedus, Emery Cohen, Carl Glusman, loads of folks. So, after a chance encounter, headstrong Kathy is drawn to Benny, member of Midwestern motorcycle club The Vandals. As the club transforms into a dangerous underworld of violence, Benny must choose between Kathy and his loyalty to the club. Yeah, kinda. Alright, look, I'm gonna start with Mark, because this... just felt very Mark nippy to me. Mark, what do you make of the Bikeriders?
I'm going to caveat a lot during talking about the Bikeriders. In the sense that I came out to it, and the first thing I said to you, didn't I, Bex, was, it's going to be fascinating to find out what people who aren't influenced by Sons of Anarchy,
yeah,
which it's very similar in a lot of points too, because it's influenced by the same source material. But it's going to be fascinating to hear what people who aren't fans of that think about it. Because I think there's an element of, if you've watched 7 series of that show,
you've got a base knowledge.
You've got a base knowledge of this world.
Yeah.
I kind of liked that it wasn't what the trailer made it out to be. I think that will piss off a lot of people. It's not hyper stylized. It's not all soundtrack. I do agree that there's very little depth to it, but I don't think there's that much depth to these people. I will get more into it. I was irked by Jodie Comer's accent, but then I've listened to some of the real tapes of the woman she's playing, and it's pretty bang on. I just wish that Jodie Comer didn't constantly seem so pleased with herself about the voices she's doing. You
could say the same about Tom Hardy. Sorry,
I thought Tom Hardy was very good in it. I thought he was the best thing in it. That and the fact that any time, and it's not a lot, that Austin Butler was on screen, the camera was just set to smoulder.
Yeah.
And that was it. I literally, only because we were in recliner seats in Cineworld, they're bullshit, and you need to start agreeing with me that recliner seats are bullshit.
Those ones are, yeah.
I leaned like the 17 feet across to Becky, and crawled there, missed 20 minutes of the movie, and at the bit where she sits back down,
yeah, she sees him at the pool table.
I said to Bex, well, you fucking would, wouldn't you?
Austin. Yeah. Have you got any direction for me? Yeah. Do that thing with your jaw and just smoulder.
Yeah. Why were his arms smouldering? Why, every bit of his arms was... You looked at it and went, literally, every second of that, you could come at, and you'd be fine.
Any second, yeah.
You'd be like, yeah, that one, all of it.
He is fucking pretty, isn't he? Like, it's just ridiculous.
Comer plays that reaction very well as well.
Yeah, she does.
Because it's the right reaction to have.
Yeah.
It absolutely is. So yeah, I don't think it's perfect. I very much enjoyed the fact that it's quite small scale, and I was relieved that I didn't come away going, there was a lot of fucking needle drops in that, but I can see why people have been a little bit underwhelmed.
Bex
is just putting her headphones back on from taking bread out, I believe.
They're taking the lid off the bread so it can brown.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Is it my turn? Yeah, I do second what you're saying. It is going to be interesting. Obviously, Ian, you've not watched Sons, have you?
No.
To hear what you have to say about it. I think a lot of the... Because if you just watch this, none of what they do is particularly bad.
No,
none of it seems very high stakes.
It's relatively tame in comparison to many episodes of the aforementioned show that we're mentioning.
Yeah, so like with the exception of like burning that guy's bar down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
not
okay.
Really
Yeah,
much
that was
where you'd go.
that was the
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
can I just sorry, what is it? Ian, the burning the guy's bar down, if you were to list like the things in Sons of Anarchy, that probably wouldn't even make like the top 200.
No, I'm sure, but
Yeah.
this is its own
Yeah.
film.
Yeah, but
you know, and in that moment, I was like, that escalated very fucking quickly.
Yeah, but with the exception of that, they don't really seem to do anything particularly criminal or bad. They just have picnics and fight.
Sorry.
So if you're looking at it as like, you know, he's interviewing her, and there's supposed to be this kind of tension around him leaving the club, and again, and I don't want to hammer the point too much because this is its own thing, but there is a similar story thread in Sons of Anarchy where Jax wants to leave.
That's it.
As Benny has in this, but he just can't, and that's where all the drama of that comes from. He just physically can't, and in this he just fucks off.
just fucked off.
And then so it's a bit like being able to fill in certain gaps where you know why people don't like them, and you know why they're treated with a bit of like fear by people, like because you've watched this other thing that kind of fills in those gaps for you. Then there's maybe more enjoyment of it.
I think we're in danger there of reviewing the movie that it isn't rather than the movie that it isn't. It is.
But for the movie that it is, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was very good. I think it, you know, as the showing how it got set up and then how it kind of got away from them. I think it does that really well. He just wanted it to be like a riding club, and they got together and they rode bikes. They talked about bikes. And it was like a thing for these guys to do, to being what it ended up being. It's an interesting progression of that.
Yeah, we'll get more into it.
Yeah. I mean, I was pretty disappointed with it, and it's interesting what you said there, Bex. I feel like it probably would have worked better as a 6-hour miniseries I'd never watch, than what the barely 2-hour film here that I feel like doesn't really have much in the way of character.
Yeah, you don't really get to know anybody, do you?
No, and that bothered me. And you know, the bits that you do get feel a little counter to what the film's trying to say for me. So, like, I kind of thought these are basically boys playing fucking dress up, and I kind of feel they're all a bit pathetic. That's what I took away from it. And, you know, you've got Tom Hardy early on, he's watching The Wild One, and then it's basically, well, I bet I could do that. And then he just forms a boys club where they do those kinds of things. And you've got Austin Butler's character who's like, you know, well, I don't really want to work or any, you know, I just want to do this. This is all, and yeah, so then when suddenly it's not only are we going to find those guys, but we're going to burn the bar down, I was a bit, where the fuck did that come from? Like, it felt like there should have been, like, that should have been the end of episode 2 of a 6-episode miniseries where now they're starting to get things are escalating instead of like halfway through a 2-hour film.
I think my issue with Alex, I agree with you on that the tonal bit there is there's an element of, I think when it ties into what you were saying, Bex, it runs away from Hardy, the character. That he wanted to settle this, what is it? And then it ends up, he never wanted it to become like a criminal enterprise. But then they have that bit. But that bit, the problem is, the bits before that. It's revenge for Benny, and I get that. That's how I can kind of square that circle. But the problem is, it builds up to that, and then it drops back down again after it. And it's almost like he enjoys that moment, but then he wants to come out of it. He doesn't want to be it doesn't want it to become a gang. It's the key bit of when Johnny went after he's been killed. John Comer said, after he went, it just became a gang, and that is what they weren't supposed to be. But it's too up and down with it.
I think so. Just to kind of speak to like with you saying they all seem a little bit pathetic. I think that's kind of meant to be the point a little bit. These are just normal guys that are feeling a little bit disenfranchised. They form this club to have like other guys to be around to as a collective thing. Like everyone needs a flock of some description. So they form this to be that, and then, but they're still just normal guys who are like, he's got his wife and his 2 daughters at home, and he's got to pick up eggs for his wife, and do you know what I mean? Like they've got these normal lives. The club is just supposed to be the club at this point. It's not supposed to be an all-encompassing thing. And then I think with the patching over of other guys from other clubs, and with them setting up like franchises, chapters, in other cities and things like that, it starts to get away from it. But then I think with the whole because I think Jodie Comer's character, Kathy references at one point, like he's a little bit in love with Benny because Benny's what he wishes he could be. Like he's set up this club to kind of be like the wild Marlon Brando, and he's not really. He's got this normal life, so he's just kind of, he looks at Benny with awe, and then this awful thing happens to him, and he just sees fucking red. But then that's kind of like, he's got away from himself at that point, and then it all kind of goes down from there. I feel like there should have been more text on screen for that, and there's that's the thing, the kind of like the kind of rising up and lowering kind of thing. I think that happens in other elements as well. The her trying to her going into the bar and saying like, right, I don't want him in the club anymore. I want him out of the club. You need to get him out of the club. And then basically the next scene, they're at one of those picnic things again, and then she's there, and it's like that didn't even happen. And then I think it happens again later on. No, that's with Benny then. But you got that, and then you've got that like the rival gang, like the kid who sees them going past and whatnot. And as soon as Hardy rejected him, I was like, right, well, Hardy's going to get killed by him in about half an hour's time then. Yeah,
you basically, that was, yeah. It was obvious that was what was about to happen. And it was a little bit, I don't know whether there's an element of, is there a 2.5 hour or 2 hour 40-minute version of this movie that this is film better? This film feels like it's been cut to within an inch of its life, like really weirdly, because it's
quite
not
jumpy, isn't it?
Yeah, and the narrative feels like it was the minimum they could get away with, and then but they've cut things out there where I don't feel like they actually got away with it. But you are left with, for me, some surface level evoking of the era, which is very good. Like, I think the film looks great. Butler, like you said, sets a smolder, has probably as many lines as Arnie did in the first Terminator, but also makes a great impression because he's Austin Butler, and look at him. Yeah. There is an element. I mean, one of the best sequences of the movie is when he pulls back up in front of her house and just fucking sits there to the point of where her boyfriend just decides, I can't compete with that. Look at me. Yeah. And you just look going,
well, that's it. When he pulls up and you see the boyfriend, you're like, well, there's no fucking competition there, is there?
But it's like he doesn't even need to say anything. No. He's just standing there and staring. It's fucking brilliant. Yeah, he ain't even a dick to the guy. He just sits there and waits for him to leave.
That bit where it cuts down to the like pile of cigarettes around his feet.
So I mean, you got those bits. I thought Norman Reedus, I could have done with more Norman Reedus. Like the,
I really enjoy whenever Norman Reedus turns up in anything.
But I mean, just and again, a bit tonally weird considering like 2 minutes later, Jodie Comer's like nearly going to get raped. But the bit where him and that other guy are like, "We got this red dress for you. She said you could have it," and then they like Norman Reedus does this like kind of like hand gesture saying like, "Put it on, put it on."
Yeah.
And like it's just gleeful.
Yeah,
and then
he's being really
at the
nice.
end,
He's just real happy that he got it for her.
yeah. He's just like really happy. And that's the thing. It's like that character when he rocks up, you are a bit like, "What's going to happen here then?" And then he does that whole. I came here because I came from that other chapter. I was told to kick the shit out of Cal. Well, are you going to? Nah, I like you guys. And it deflates, and that's great. I mean, I really, really liked his energy here, and it could have done with a bit more of that, just to kind of build the camaraderie around the whole thing as well. Because basically, all you get is like they drink, talk about depressing shit, and every now and then punch each other. And I don't know, maybe that is what it was like, but I don't get it. But maybe I'm just not wired that way. And that's the thing, I might not be wired in a way that is absolutely simpatico with getting the most out of this film. But at the same time, I didn't find the story just particularly compelling. There wasn't really any nuance to it. Like I say, I don't think there was any depth to it. But I'm not going to say it's shit, but I am going to say touching cloth on it, and I'm disappointed.
Can I just point out the irony though, in that if you want this, but more padded out and with more nuance and with the relationships and the characters built and with there being like when people get hurt, you actually give a shit about them. Sons of Anarchy literally exists, but you won't watch it because it's TV.
And but I said this to you, didn't I, Bex? If I watched this movie and not watched it, I would probably be closer to Ian's bit of a little bit disappointed, and then people would be telling me, saying, "Do you know what? There's a 7-season TV show you could watch," and I'd be there going, "Yeah, but I don't want to watch that. I don't want 7 seasons of it."
It's really good.
No, look,
I wouldn't recommend you watch
absolutely.
it just to put that out there.
Save
yourself the pain of watching it. This is that with a happy ending.
Yeah. Tons is unpleasant to watch.
Yeah.
And
I will watch it again now. I really want to watch it again after watching this, but I don't want to watch it again.
There's a potential, like Mark said earlier on, there is a potential longer cut of this that would completely change my mind.
The thing is, I'm going to say it, I'm definitely not shit on it. The last comparison I'm going to make to us, because I just think that it is very difficult to not.
Yeah.
Not even just because of subject matter, because literally the core crux of the story that is pitched is there.
Yeah.
But there are episodes of aforementioned show that are better than this. The last of season 3, I would say the last 45 minutes of that feature-length episode of season 3 of Sons of Anarchy.
Which one's that?
The one where they kill Stal.
Oh yeah, I thought you were referring to the OP one.
No, God,
breaks my
it is singularly the best 45 minutes of possibly anything I've ever seen. And this is just it almost feels like this is the palatable version of that. It's like the happy ending version of that.
Yeah, watch this if you want to see Jackson Tara actually get to leave and he works in a garage.
Yeah, it's quite nice. But yeah, I'm definitely not shit on it, but it comes with an awful lot of caveats.
Yeah, I'm similar. I think I'm definitely not shitting on it because I can add in some characterisation that isn't in the film. It's not on the screen, so it's probably an unfair, definitely not shit.
Yeah.
That it doesn't deserve. But it's scratched an itch in that sense.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I mean,
it probably doesn't deserve it because it is a very, very weak story, and it
maybe doesn't. Yeah.
And I think it is a victim a little bit of it. It's tried to do like a stylized thing because it is essentially it's an adaptation of not a book, a photo book. So it's tried to do a thing and make a movie out of some recorded interviews and some snapshots. So, but it's tried to make it feel like that. And then I think it suffers from it feeling like that.
Yeah, there's an element of that. Yeah. Our audience.
I will just say that, but I mean, I'm glad it exists. Like just in terms of it it's an interesting concept. It's a good cast. It's a writer-director doing a thing that he definitely wants to do. I mean, he was supposed to do A Quiet Place Day 1. Would I rather he did A Quiet Place Day 1 or The Bikeriders? The Bikeriders.
Yeah.
You know, like, and I'm just, like, I'm disappointed in my reaction to it. I was really looking forward to it.
I would say it's a 4 out of 5 for me. That I potentially I liked and I did enjoy, but I potentially could put it in my disappointments of the year because it's. But I'm trying to review the movie it is rather than the movie it isn't. But our audience poll was definitely not shit 33%, touching cloth 50%, and shit 17%. So I don't think we're alone in like the idea of it not quite doing exactly what it says on the tin.
Yeah. But like I say, glad it exists.
Yeah.
Right. Let's talk. What we've been watching. Go ahead, guys. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first with my solo bit because Bex has just gone to take the bread out that we had in, and then we'll cover our. That's it. I accidentally watched a Giovanni Ribisi double bill. So I'll go this one first. In fact, I will, because I think Bex can make a joke that actually won't seem as funny when she makes it and I reveal that something happens in the film. So I watched Boiler Room, which is the Ben Younger movie that stars Giovanni Ribisi, Vin Diesel with hair, Nicky Cat, Scott Caan, Ben Affleck's in there as well. And there's other people. There's a lot of kind of like, it's that guy from that thing. In there, and it's essentially the first kind of this is based on Jordan Belfort film that came out there. Well, actually, Wolf of Wall Street then did it a lot better years later, but this is a late 90s, early 90s $7 million adaptation of that instead. It's quite good. Is Boiler Room. It's Giovanni Ribisi in that he was like the indie darling at the time, wasn't he? He was the weird kind of looking guy who also ended up doing Gone in 60 Seconds the same year as this as well. I enjoyed rewatching it. Nicky Cat plays a great douchebag in this movie, as Nicky Cat can play great douchebags. And Vin Diesel plays the good guy, almost. Can you guess what Scott Caan plays?
Scott Caan?
Yeah.
A little bit of a shifty Weasley shitbag?
Yeah, who just likes punching people. Yeah, that's what he plays. And the one of the fun things that I have about Boiler Room is when I worked for Phones for You. Actually, no, it was Car Phone Warehouse. When I worked for Car Phone Warehouse, I got a new area manager who brought us all in to have this big like area meeting, and this was more about phones in the mid-noughties. So it was just a lot of douchebags, and he got us all in, and he started doing this speech. This guy called Raz, and he was a fucking prick. And about sort of like a minute into it, I was sort of thinking, hang on a minute, I recognise this. And it was after about sort of like a minute and a bit, I thought, hang on a minute, this is basically a slightly bastardised version of Ben Affleck's recruitment speech in Boiler Room. And I didn't like this guy, so I kind of put my hand up, and he was like, What, Mark? I went, you're doing Boiler Room. He was like, what? I was like, you're doing Boiler Room. This is the speech from Boiler Room, the film. Like, no, it's not. I was like, no, it is. It's the speech from Boiler Room. Has anyone else seen Boiler Room? And a few people kind of put their hand up. And I was like, it's the speech from Boiler Room. You even did the sliding your keys along the table bit. He's like, no, it's not. And then one of the other guys, George, went, I mean, It is, Brad. It's Boiler Room. It's basically like it's almost verbatim what you're doing. It's kind of funny, and it's just this guy who had an incredibly high opinion of himself, who thought that he was the shit, just got completely cut down to nothing by just being an idiot. And whenever I watch Boiler Room, I was reminding of that, and then I reminded of the fact that he went to prison about 6 months after it.
Oh wow!
Because he was renting properties and then re-renting them out at a higher rate, and he got caught.
Oh.
Yeah, but he wasn't just doing it like with one; he was doing it with like 20 or 30 properties. And he went from being our area manager, who nobody liked and nobody had any respect for, would send just these diatribe emails to everybody, and everyone would just send an email back going, "Yeah, okay, I'll look into that," without even reading it. And then all of a sudden he wasn't there. Like literally next day he wasn't there. Then I just remember Joe, who was one of the managers of the other star, running in with a newspaper and the Arts Post going, Look, he's in fucking prison. So yeah, Boiler Room. I enjoyed my rewatch of it.
Nice.
I also rewatched The Mod Squad. Right? Bex, The Mod Squad. What would you say to them? So you're just some kind of...
Mod Squad?
Yeah. That line appears in the actual movie.
Oh.
At the end of the movie, a guy walks up to Omar Epps, Claire Danes, and Giovanni Ribisi's character and goes, "So I guess you're just some kind of mod squad then now, are you?" And they all go, "Ha ha ha ha!" And then the film ends.
Oh.
But the mod squad makes no sense. It's based on I want to say a hit TV series, but nobody watched it. From like the late 60s, I believe. But it's Claire Danes, Giovanni Ribisi, and Omar Epps playing essentially juvenile delinquents who are recruited into being undercover cops because they can get in places that cops can't because they're cool. Yeah, they're cool. Yeah. It's made better by the fact that their captain is Dennis Fariner.
Nice.
Who gets a great bit where he gets to chew out. Do you remember the guy who keeps on hitting Chandler Bing on the ass?
Yeah.
Yeah, him. Who gets to chew him out. And it's really good. I kind of enjoyed my rewatch of The Mod Squad, but it's also not very good. Omar Epps is nowhere near as cool as the movie likes to make him out to be. Claire Danes is nowhere near as sexy as the movie makes her out to be. And then you've got a weirdness of her and Josh Brolin having like a romance in it.
Josh Brolin.
Yeah.
Shit, okay.
And you're looking at it going,
wow.
Hang on a minute though. Claire Danes was like 20 at the time. And Josh Brolin was in his 30s. But Claire Danes looked like she was in her 20s. And Josh Brolin looked like he was in his late 40s. So you're just going... It's like, oh, he helped me get clean. And you're like, did he though? Because he looks really skeezy. And the conversation that you had with him when you meet him, when you re-meet him again, is that you inform him that you're now clean. So he didn't help you get clean. He just took advantage of you when you weren't. And yeah, it's kind of like that. It's fun, but it's shit. Go watch it.
Nice.
What else did I watch? Those Who Wish Me Dead. I like Those Who Wish Me Dead. It's a good movie.
Who's in that again?
Angelina Jolie, Aidan Gillen, John Bernthal, and Nicholas Hoult.
That's not the crap one where she ends up stuck in a
Oh,
tower.
the firefighter one.
Firefighter one, yeah.
Yeah.
It's got that Taylor Sheridan oppressive. Everything's just gradually getting worse, and there's no levity whatsoever to it. It does. I'm not normally an Angelina Jolie fan, but her turning around to a kid and going, thanks for kicking me in the tit, by the way, you little bastard. And then walking away with it is good. She's good in this movie, and she fucking takes some hits in it. It's good. It's oppressively bleak, but it looks really fucking good, and it's one of those movies where people will. I remember when it came out, people went, "As good as that." They don't make the movies like that anymore, do they? Yeah, they do. You just watched it, you idiot. Loads of them happen. But yeah, and also Nicholas Hoult playing just a bad guy, just a real fucking piece of shit. You know, yeah, he's just doing his job. Yeah, but he doesn't have to just do his job. Kind of bit where he's just a dick. What else have I got? Jimmy Hollywood.
We were going to watch this.
You did say you didn't want to watch it.
I didn't. I said I didn't want to watch it that night.
That was, yeah.
Yeah, fuck you.
Questionable, that one.
No, well.
Jimmy Hollywood, which I watched because I was influenced by The Pullman. Because it's got a similar vibe to it. It does have a similar vibe to it. Whereas Pullman leans more into things like Under the Silver Lake and Chinatown. This leans more into there's a taxi driver bit in it that I completely forgot about, which is basically an LA version of Taxi Driver sequence that lasts about sort of 10 minutes, where you've got Joe Pesci, essentially his character doing Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
It's a lot less zany than I thought it was.
Yeah.
And it is just it's a comment on like Joe Pesci's character Jimmy Alto, who is this failed actor who just thinks he's fucking great and that everyone should think he's great, and just kind of tries to live the life. And his friend who is clearly has PTSD from an abusive childhood, played by Christian Slater, who's fucking brilliant in it, as his friend Will, who kind of get dragged along to form this fake vigilante group. And it's good, but the tragedy of Christian Slater's character, who is just there because Jimmy's his only friend, and he kind of has this surrogate parent relationship between Jimmy and Jimmy's girlfriend. And they kind of look after him, but he's actually the one who's got his head screwed on most. It's just he keeps blanking and forgetting things, so he keeps repeating stories. So he'll repeat like a story about the fact that he really likes films because he watched The Mummy with his dad when he was young. And he'll tell that story to Jimmy, and Jimmy will be like, yeah, and he'll say it, and then literally 30 seconds later he'll start saying it again, and Jimmy will be like, you're doing that thing you do. You're blanking and you're looping again. And he keeps almost kind of taking advantage of it or chewing him out about it, and then not. And that works really well. You don't get this feeling that he's taking advantage of it. It's just that it's somebody there that will just lap up his bullshit. But he also has a great affection for him. Yeah. It's a good film. I'm not saying it's not like one where I think, shit, everyone's been sleeping on this movie for 30 years and people should watch it. It's not that. But as a weird kind of hangout movie that has this weird kind of like story of them setting up this fake vigilante service, it's quite good and it's fun, and I enjoy my rewatch of it. Good. I originally watched this on Laserdisc. Yes, I did on Laserdisc. Yeah. We'll loop back round to what we watched together, because there's only two, isn't there? Yeah. So does someone else want to have a go for a while?
Go on, Bex.
I have actually watched a few movies this week. Not millions, but a few. So I watched the 2001 movie Blow Dry.
The Josh Hartnett plays a hairdresser in Sheffield.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
Movie.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I don't know why for all of that movie.
I think I saw there was a clip of it on Facebook or Instagram or something. I was like, what the fuck's that? Got Bill Nye and Alan Rickman in it.
Yeah.
Josh Hartnett's there.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Oh look, it's Rachel Lee Cook.
Yep.
And then Heidi Klum's there as well.
Yeah. Weird movie.
She gets her pubes cut into the shape of a heart.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, do you know what? I'm not a big fan of the old kitchen sink drama kind of oeuvre. And I started watching this and I was like, oh, I'm not gonna get on with this. But then it's about a hairdressing competition. Like, and I said to you afterwards, it's made me really want to watch Strictly Ballroom. Like, it's this real kind of like
Strictly Ballroom's a lot better.
Yeah, it is. But it's this kind of real niche thing that's huge to the people that it's huge for. That everyone else just looks at and goes, fucking hell. Ballroom dancing, fucking hell. Hairdressing competitions, what? But it's huge.
Oh, they're massive, they're huge.
And it's like, and just like it deals with it. Like there's stupid bits because it's that kind of movie, but like the hairdressing competition is dealt with quite a lot of seriousness and gravity. Like these people take it really fucking seriously.
I've been to these things. They're insane.
Yeah, you will have, yeah. Natasha Richardson is really good in it, and it's she plays hers with like a real. She's like the heart of the movie, and obviously she's going through some stuff in that, but she's the emotional centre of it. But Alan Rickman and Bill Nye are fucking great with their like. But Alan Rickman is really believable as just this like. Because a lot of them are played quite kind of campy. Because the hairdressers are camp, and let's play them like that. But he's just like this real kind of just like normal down to earth guy from fucking, from is it Sheffield?
I'm sure it's Sheffield.
Keighley, no, it's Keighley. This just real like normal down to earth guy from Keighley who runs a barber's and his son works there. But he's got this history as this like real kind of like flashy hairdresser guy, and the bit at the end where he finally decides to pitch in, and he's doing like the final hairstyle, and he like cocks up his foot and he's got this tattoo on the bottom of his foot of like these golden scissors, and it's like, oh, there you are. Really, really enjoyable, to be fair, really fun. So from going from being like, oh, I'm not gonna like this. There's too many sheep. It's too kitchen sinky for me. It actually really worthwhile watch. To be fair, so I also watched on your recommendation, Tank Girl. Tank Girl's fucking weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
Ahead of its time with its meta.
Yeah. Yeah, I really enjoyed it, but there's not a lot to it, really.
No, it literally is just Laurie Petty twatting about for an hour and a half.
Yeah, it is.
It's literally like they didn't script her and just said, we're going to script everybody else, you just go in there and just say anything you want, because that's what she kind of does.
Yeah. But yeah, I enjoyed my rewatch of it. It was I'd finished work and was waiting for you to finish work and had a few hours, why don't you watch Tank Girl? But I had a bit of a day where I ended up watching the end of Tank Girl and 3 other movies. So I rewatched Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers.
The original cartoon?
No. The new movie.
The new one with...
The Lonely Island one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who is it?
Yeah, nice.
Andy Samberg.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he play one of them.
Yes, he does, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what? It's really good.
I've enjoyed it, yeah.
It's like just all the little nods it has to like other cartoons and stuff like that. It's just really fucking fun. And the ugly Sonic thing is really funny. Yeah.
Of course it is, yeah.
And one of them's CGI'd and one of them isn't. And then God, what are they called? I can't remember now. What was the girl rescue ranger called?
Lydia.
It's not fucking Lydia, is it?
I took a stab in the dark and went for it. You didn't have an answer.
No, I didn't. No. What's she fucking called? That's gonna really annoy me. Zipper and...
Who?
The fly's called Zipper. She's married to... I can't even find it now.
I don't know.
Anyway, her. And when they come into it in the end and they're married and then they've got all these like weird children that are various components, she's a mouse as well, I think, and he's a fly, and so there's like mouse-headed, fly-bodied children, vice versa. It's all a bit weird.
Yeah, it's a bit weird that. Don't remember that bit.
But yeah, I think it handles its story really well of like treating them. It's got obviously Roger Rabbit-y vibes where like there's the real world that's there, but these are cartoons and they coexist and blah blah blah. But yeah, really good. I also watched Signs.
Why?
I don't know.
You don't like Signs?
I don't like M. Night Shyamalan movies.
But you just watched it.
I know. I think it might have been something on Facebook where someone showed a clip of like, you know the bit where there's the kid's birthday party footage and then the alien just crosses across the alley in the background. I'm
worried if Facebook is letting you choose what movies you watch.
But it really did. So this is what I was referencing earlier. Kieran Culkin is the best thing in this, and he's a fucking child in it. Like, he is better than Joaquin Phoenix and Mel Gibson in this movie.
My recollection of that is Joaquin Phoenix just waits to hit something with a baseball bat.
Swing away, Meryl.
Yeah.
What the fuck? It's stupid. It's a stupid fucking film. Nobody treats it with any seriousness. Mel Gibson and Joaquin Phoenix are like Amdram levels of shit in this.
I remember going to see this in the cinema with you and standing up at the end of it and going, in a packed cinema and going, well, that was a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And then walking out because it was a piece of shit.
Actually, no, it's Rory Culkin that's in this one.
Is it Rory?
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes you look like a twat, doesn't it?
Don't look like a twat. Hey, Rory. But yeah, the only one that seems to be like try to do anything in this. I mean, Abigail Breslin can be forgiven because she's like really tiny in this.
If you're saying she's like that tall from like the sofa where your hand is, that's impossible.
She's like a borrower. No, but like Abigail Breslin can be forgiven because she's like a really little kid in this. But even she's fucking better than Joaquin Phoenix and Mel Gibson are in this movie. They are embarrassingly bad.
I will never
in an
watch
embarrassingly
Signs
bad
again.
film. But Rory Culkin's actually like doing a thing. Like he's a really supportive, lovely brother. The bit where he has to kill the dog is really sad, and he genuinely
Kill the
seems
dog?
really sad.
He's a monster.
It goes for both.
He's a monster.
Well, no, because they get exposed to the alien,
I'll be
and
honest,
then it goes weird.
I don't have anything to say about Signs.
It's shit.
Yeah.
I actually don't think M. Night Shyamalan is a very good filmmaker.
I think there's a lot of evidence to suggest he's not.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at it.
There's some to suggest he is, but he's a very up and down filmmaker. Because I'm very much looking forward to his next film.
Which is what? Oh, Trap.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping that could be good because I don't want Josh Hartnett to be in a shit film. But Knock at the Cabin's shit. Old is really shit. Glass, I don't know if I've watched Glass.
Glass is shit.
Glass is shit. Nobody remembers it. Doesn't Bruce Willis die in a puddle? Like
Bruce Willis dies in a puddle. It's brilliant.
It's not even off screen, is it? It's just in the background.
Yeah.
He's unbreakable, but he dies in a puddle.
Well, his weakness is water, so if you just stick him in a puddle for long enough, that'll be the death of him.
Split's shit.
I don't think you need to go through the entire what is it?
But I'm genuinely looking to see if there's a good one that is. Sixth Sense is the only one that I think is good.
I don't think Sixth Sense.
Unbreakable's alright.
I like Unbreakable.
He works well enough as a one-time watcher for me. Like, I don't rewatch his films, but Knock at the Cabin, like, I found reasonably engaging while it was on. You know, like, Old, I
hated Old.
Like, it's just that last 20 minutes is fucking shit. But I don't know, man. Like, there's some good, like, I think they play the terror of that situation in Old pretty well.
I think I need to rewatch all. I think I hated it, but I kind of want to give it another go, which I don't normally say about M. Night Shyamalan movies.
I'll never watch it again. I thought the concept played out pretty effectively, and it fucking weirded me out. Like I won't watch Old again.
Right. What was the other one you watched, Bex?
And I watched Midsummer Night's Dream.
Which one?
The Michelle Pfeiffer one.
Yeah, Pfeiffer. Okay. Who plays Puck in that fucker?
Stanley Tucci.
Yeah,
he does, doesn't he?
Touch of the Tooch.
Yeah. I mean, I really, really, really like this, and I've rewatched it a number of times. I don't know why I really like it. I think it's quite. I like that they stick to the Shakespearean wording, but kind of bring it to life, and there's bikes, which obviously there wouldn't have been in Shakespearean times. I'm guessing there would be steeds in the actual proper production. But yeah, Kevin Kline's great as Bottom. Stanley Tucci is really good as Puck. Anna Friel, whatever happened to her? Did she just stop?
Yeah, she kind of just stopped. She's probably been in TV stuff, hasn't she?
Then I was shocked because I'd completely forgotten that Christian Bale was in it as Demetrius.
She's in Monarch, that show you watching.
I didn't watch that till the end. I ran out of steam with it.
You can't whisper on a podcast, babe.
I didn't watch that all the way to the end. I ran out of steam with it.
Because it's a TV show and they have too much steam.
Sam Rockwell's really good in it.
I forgot he was in it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's this daft, and it's known for being one of his daft plays, isn't it, really? Because it's like the subject matter is a bit, but it's all this daft shit going on, and then Sam Rockwell just decides to kind of rebel against the daft play that he's in, and just do this really, emotional scene. And it's like, oh, hang on a sec, that took me by surprise. But yeah, really like Midsummer Night's Dream. Don't know why.
Fair enough. Do you want to do what we've been watching together, Ian, or do you want to jump in?
How many have you got?
3.
Have we?
No, 2. Oh, I also watched Stand By Me. I don't need to talk about Stand By Me. It is God tier. It doesn't need speaking about.
Yeah. So we watched...
Yeah, do you two.
So, we'll do this one first because we can't talk too much about it because it is, although we are all spoilers all the time, it is a 2024 release and I don't want to give too much away.
I can sum up my review for this movie in one sentence.
So it's The Strangers Chapter 1. What?
Oh, yeah, you guys watched that, eh?
Yeah.
Alright, yeah.
What's your review?
My one sentence review?
Yeah.
I'm glad we didn't waste time going to the cinema to see this.
I'll go a little bit further than that. Right. So, I think it's fair to say that if you've got that I'm not spoilering it if I say that you've got a couple that are getting terrorised in a house, that one of them isn't going to survive, and it's pretty obvious which one isn't going to survive. I think without spoilering, I think you can say that as just from horror, you know that, right? The male lead character in this movie, I have genuinely never wanted a character in a horror movie to die more than him.
Oh, wow.
He is, and you will back me up on this, won't you, Becky? He is the worst. Everything that is going to happen to you, you deserve, and anything good that has ever happened to you in your life, you didn't deserve. I can't wait to see you die. He makes every wrong decision that you can possibly make, and it is all out of ego of thinking that he's better than everybody. There's a bit
And his
in it,
weak lungs.
and he's got fucking weak lung. It's just, you look at it going, you don't deserve her. She seems alright.
That's it. I wanted her to die purely because she didn't want him to die, and
Yeah.
I saw that as a character failing on her part.
It made you have that character failing on her part,
Yeah.
and she's good in it. I'm looking forward to spending more time with her.
She's fine, Mark. She's a hot redhead. She's not good in it. You just fancied her.
I will admit to that. But no, she is quite good in it. She's fun in
fine.
it. But when let me caveat. When he's not on screen.
Yeah.
But when he's on screen, she becomes like, but she's the badass in it. The bit with the...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? She's the badass in it. And also as well, there's a central bit in it very early on that just makes no sense.
Why is it there?
There is again, very loose because I'm not going to spoil it, but there's a thing at the beginning, like very early on when they get to the cabin that they're in the most convoluted way ever. And then he leaves, and the way he leaves, to leave it for a brief amount of time, makes no fucking sense.
Why is it there?
Whatsoever.
It wouldn't be there.
Nope.
Stupid.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that I did not waste my time going to the cinema to see this.
The IMDb for Chapter 2, which comes out towards the end of this year, if the runtime for that movie that is listed on there is correct, that is insanity. I almost want it to be the case.
It can't be.
So the runtime apparently, as IMDb has it listed for Part 2, Chapter 2, because they've all been made, they were made back to back. So they are getting released. There's 3 of them.
Yeah, there's 3 of them, dude.
And Chapter 2 gets released later on this year, and apparently Chapter 3 is early on next year. So this one is 91 minutes. Apparently, and it cannot be right, but I almost hope it is. Chapter 2's IMDb listed runtime is 2 hours 42 minutes, and Chapter 3's is 2 hours 12.
It almost feels like somebody's taking the piss with those.
I almost hope it is.
But so I don't know. Does it end in a way that's like, yeah, all right, you can see where a Chapter 2's going?
Yeah, kinda. And it, as bad as it is when it did end, I went, go on, then I'll watch another.
But and does it feel like it's going to retread, or are they actually pushing in a different direction?
It's going to retread. If it retreads, then it's why have you made 3 movies. If it goes in a different direction, which it could, and it is just basically 3 parts of her just on the run from these people that you don't know who they are.
Well, I think from the description, it sounds like it's sort of going more into why and who.
Yeah.
Which I think the reason the Liv Tyler Strangers and the reason Funny Games work
and Eels.
Yeah. Is that you don't know that.
Yeah, you don't need.
I don't need their
Cult
backstory
of the Fawn, like in Halloween 6 and shit like that, you know.
But that's what makes it scary. It could be anyone.
Yeah.
There's no motive. There's no anything. Like if they come after her again in Part 2, then there's motive, and then that kind of takes away that element of, fuck, this could happen to me. Well, no, Part 2 couldn't happen to me because Part 1 hasn't already happened to me, so I'm fine.
It'd be a half-star movie had it not been for the hot redhead.
She's not even that hot, Mark.
I'm just saying.
Her hair is hot. That's it.
She's got nice thighs.
Not really.
She did.
She's too meaty.
Nah, bullshit. And we also rewatched Pleasantville, didn't we?
Yes, yeah, we did.
Because Pleasantville doesn't exist anymore, and yet it was kind of a big deal in 1998. Yeah. Pleasantville's good.
Yeah. Some plot holes though in there.
There's a lot of plot holes, yeah. But it's a movie about 2 kids who get pulled into a TV show. The biggest plot hole of... Wait a minute. So, this marathon that's going on that they've been pulled into, and that's why all these things are happening, are people watching that? Which never gets explained.
No.
But
I think the biggest plot hole is, how is he going to explain to his mother his sister who has just gone missing now?
Oh, she's run away.
I think what would have been better is if when he got back, the whatever she's called in the... Isn't she literally called Mary Sue?
Yeah.
She's such a Mary Sue. Like, if the actress that had played Mary Sue in the show had been on the outside, and then he had to like teach her about living in the real world. That could have been the sequel, Pleasantville 2.
I mean, it's just basically...
And it just ends and he just looks at her and goes, Mary Sue? And then it cuts.
It's what would happen if, like, a pleasant place got horny.
It does get real horny.
Yeah.
Everyone gets colour. Like it's what is it you always say in Sledgehammer to a Walnut with its symbolism, but fucking hell.
Yeah. And Jeff Daniels paints a nude mural of Joan Allen.
John Allen jacks it in the bath and just suddenly becomes coloured.
Joan Allen jacks it so hard in a bath, a tree sets on fire.
Power of masturbation, people.
That happened in a movie that was literally, I remember it just being like a big deal.
Yeah.
Like this movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, as a scene where Joan Allen just fucking jacks it up in a bath so hard, a tree sets fire, and it's the first time that town's seen fire.
Yeah.
Ian, what have you been watching?
What a way to hand over! Wow, okay, so yeah, got a fair few things here. I'll try and get through them quickly. Are we reviewing the Exorcism next week? Can you guys get to it?
We're gonna try and get to that, yeah.
Okay, cool. If you don't get to it, I'll just talk about it next week then. Okay. Did I rewatch Godzilla -1 on the old Netflix?
Nice.
Yeah, just an absolute, just banging. You know, talked about it loads on the show over the last few months, and yeah, I think it still works on a smaller screen at home. Yeah, it's brilliant. Don't need to talk about that anymore. Rewatched The Proposal.
The Sandra
Fletcher,
Bullock movie.
Yeah, Anne Fletcher directed, Sandra Bullock, Ryan Reynolds.
I like that movie.
Yeah, so do I. I mean, my Letterboxd review just says would happily be negged by Sandy B for days.
Yeah.
So, yeah, absolutely. Reynolds is kind of doing his thing, but not as much.
He's doing it, he's doing it, but very much letting her have more of the comedy chops.
Yeah, for sure. He's got some good character in this as well. Like, I really like her arc in this, and how it's like she understands that she just doesn't want to do it to his family, but she doesn't really understand it, like, because like her parents died and she doesn't really have any close family, and the impact of them and how that affects it. It's not just her falling for him. It's good. It's good. It's The Proposal. It's obvious why it was such a hit.
Yeah.
Okay. My last rewatch for the week. Midnight Run. So, brilliant. We've talked about it a few times on the podcast over the years. Blank Check are doing Martin Brest at the moment. So they had 3 hours on Midnight Run today, which was a really fun listen. I picked up the Blu-rays. HMV are doing a sale on Second Sight Blu-rays and 4Ks at the moment. So I got the blue for their, I think it was like $8.99.
That's not bad, is it?
Yeah, it's not bad. It's got some, it's got like a few interviews and stuff on it as well. And the transfer is pretty good. So first watch of Midnight Run for a while, and it's just incredibly watchable. And I mean, this is a point they said on Blank Check, but I genuinely thought it myself. It's like it's the fact that the dialogue's not necessarily quotable, but it's just the way the stuff's performed in this. Like, Grodin is doing a lot, but really not making it look like he's doing an awful lot. The bit where he's pretending to be the FBI agent, so like trying to get the money from the bar.
Yeah, and he's saying like what the guy looked like, and the guy's saying the exact opposite, and he goes at the end of it, he goes, "Yep, that's our guy."
Yep, that's our man. Yeah, just like looking at De Niro, and then he just looks at this guy at the bar. It's just like, "You a local?" Yeah, and he just goes, "Huh," and then just stares at the guy. And oh god, the bit as again, it doesn't seem like it would be that funny, but just the bit where he's asking the waitress like, how much is a tea? 53 cents. And he looks down, looks back up. How much is a coffee? 53 cents. And he just looks down for like ages, and then just goes, I'll have the coffee. And I get it's the way his face is like moving up and down. But then at the end, like the emotional stuff really hits as well. His face when De Niro like hangs up on Joey Pants and like says like, I'm gonna let you go. His face, like the sheer or like silent shock at the gesture of it is lovely. Like that's the like by the end their relationship is lovely. And how many films can you say that about a film where De Niro is one of the people in the relationship?
Yeah, that's it. It often, his coldness is one of his greatest weapons, but in this, they do form a kinship.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But then you've also got, I got 2 words for you, shut the fuck up, which is amazing. I mean, Yaphet Kotto running around getting exasperated, and the running gag of people saying that, like the guy Agent Mosley's already. I don't know, like the bit where the guy's like, his real name's Alfonso Mosley, and he's just going, I'm Mosley. It's it's terrific. But yeah, just a really, really charming film. That's also quite long. Like it's a hair over 2 hours, but you're okay with that because there's just so much like character in it. Like there's real meat on the bone. But for me, there's not any fat on it.
No, there's no fat on it. I mean, it's the film that Paul Thomas Anderson loved so much that he made an unofficial sequel to it.
Yeah, exactly. And I love how that it's very subtle because it's just the name of the character.
Yeah.
But works. Yeah. So Sydney from Hard Eight.
Yeah.
So Philip Baker Hall was a relatively small part in this. He plays basically like Dennis Farina's like lawyer or like
he's
legal
counsel. Yeah.
And he's called Sydney, like the character in Hard Eight.
Yeah, and in Hard Eight, he's basically it's the same character, but just years down the line.
Yeah. But yeah, no, love, great. And now I'm gonna watch the Martin Brest films I've never watched. I've never seen Scent of the Woman.
So you're gonna spend the next week going hoo-ha!
Yeah, I'm quite looking forward to that though. That's the thing. Never seen Meet Joe Black. The runtimes put me off, but I'll do it. And I think I've seen Geely. I've seen Geely, but I will watch Geely again.
Yeah, I forgot Meet Joe Black's like 3 hours long, isn't it?
Yeah, it's real long.
I'm not gonna lie, it feels like you're watching a 3-hour movie.
Yeah, that's one that I might have to watch in bits.
You can watch
to be
it in
honest.
bits, yeah.
Yeah.
And Jiggly is a 2-hour movie that I think you can watch in bits because it feels like an 8-hour movie.
Yeah, no, fair. Okay, and actually one other rewatch. Watched The Martian. Watched for the first time. I watched the extended edition on the 4K. You can't get the extended version streaming. It's not even available in the iTunes extras. There was a bit of surgery that is, to my memory, more detailed than the cinema, because I think the cinema release is a 12A. This is a 15, and it will be because of that. That was quite gnarly. Apparently, there's about 10 minutes extra. It's just over 2.5 hours. This cut. But yeah, the Martian doing the Michael Mann kind of school of people doing their jobs really fucking well.
Yep.
Super entertaining. Like absolute grade A cast. Brilliant production value. It's like you know, Hollywood. I mean, the film's getting on for 10 years old now, but Hollywood can still turn out these broad, like, yeah, you know, very pretty much 4-quadrant kinds of films and do well, you know. And obviously, this got a lot of Oscar attention as well. Yeah, you know, it's a celebration of science and engineering and people thinking about things. But he's also very entertaining. And a large part of that's down to Matt Damon, because he's just an incredibly relatable, everyman-y kind of guy, despite also being obviously a genius in the film. But he pulls it off.
Yeah, I think that's it. Is The Martian is way more entertaining than it has any right to be.
Yeah. I think so too. Yeah, it's a cracking film, is The Martian. I find it very, very watchable.
Yeah. It's one that I could easily watch pretty much every year and actually kind of look forward to my yearly watching it.
Yeah, no, I'd say so too. Okay, then a few first-time watches. Dirty Dancing.
Oh.
So, yeah, I have had a vendetta against this film for a number of years, as it denied me a nighttime encounter with a girl I was seeing once because she decided. Well, we came home from a club and my housemates at the time were watching it, or flatmates, and she decided to watch it with them, and I was not paying any attention to it because I was not happy about that. But yeah, it was on ITV1 while the Euros game was on last week, which was fascinating programming. Like literally 8 o'clock on a Saturday night on ITV1, a near 40-year-old film.
Yep, some great counter programming there.
Yeah, but it's fine. The chemistry between the two of them and the music is what makes it. Which I'm sure is not a surprise to anyone. Holy crap, is that some chemistry between Patrick Swayze and Jennifer Grey?
They hated each other, didn't they?
They didn't get on, no.
You know, and fair play. Like you wouldn't tell.
No.
I think they didn't get on, but I think they also wanted to fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's all I've got to say about it, to be honest. I mean, you know, the choreography's great. Like I say, the music's cracking. Just like when they're like singing to each other and stuff, it's great.
We have you know, both the volumes of the soundtrack on vinyl, don't we? Like Volume 1 and Volume 2.
Yes. Yeah.
Nice. And yeah, I think Swayze's really good in it as well. The whole kind of like feels like he's not good enough kind of vibe. Yeah, I thought it was quite powerful in moments. So yeah, look, Dirty Dancing, it's decent.
I read a thing where a guy wrote like a theory, and of course it's nonsense, but it was quite fun reading it. That Johnny Castle, Dalton, and Bodhi are all the same guy, and it's that Johnny Castle tried living the life with Baby and it didn't go right, so he left and then was taken under the wing by Sam Elliott and became Dalton, and then once kind of he become disenfranchised with that life and the things that he'd done and the crimes he committed, he became Bodhi and sort of found spirituality, but still had an idea of the intelligence and still the knack for sort of like crime and bits like that. But it was kind of like it was a more, he could justify it.
White collar.
Yeah, and so much going, that's fun, makes no sense whatsoever, but it's fun.
Yeah. Those kinds of theories are always fun, as long as you don't take them too seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, and girl I was saying at the time, her name was Meryl. You don't get many Meryls around our age.
No, you don't.
No. think she said she wasn't named after Meryl Streep either.
Yeah, that sounds like she's protesting too much there.
Yeah, because I remember her getting a little bit ticked off about it. Obviously, I think she's probably been asked like a million times, but hey, shit, I was doing fucking film studies. What do you expect? I shouldn't be too nasty anyway. I fucked that one up. That was a my bad one. But hey, things worked out
pretty damn good.
Yeah, and I hope they worked out for her as well. Like, there's no hard feelings on that one. Anyway, so next, I'll talk Inside Out 2. So look, it's basically the plot of the first one again. In terms of what's going on in Riley's head. There's new emotions now. Like, in the first one, sadness was always there. But there's new emotions this time. And anxiety, well voiced by Maya Hawke, actually. She's she's pretty good in this. Kind of takes over because, like, essentially she wants what's best for Riley and thinks she knows the right thing and is basically going to force her way. So joy and anger and the other original ones become suppressed emotions. There's some funny bits. They discover kind of like these like forgotten childhood memories, including this like PlayStation 1 kind of era video game character whose like special move is this roll, but it's shit. So it's like he tries to help by rolling into things, and when he moves, he can only move in like go forward, turn, move, turn, like which is fun. Ron Funches voices, who's very good in the Maya Rudolph series Loop, voices this kind of like made for 4-year-olds cartoon character who has this a pouch, like sentient pouch with eyes called Pouchy, and they're like, it's like, so what would you do in this situation? We've got an apple, a screwdriver, and a burr. What do you think we could use? And then like looking like kind of breaking the fourth wall kind of stuff, and that was all right. And it's like they're 2D like different animated styles, but yeah, the kind of plot turns into, well, all the emotions have to work together, like the first one. And it's also like, I think it's about 80 minutes before credits. Like, it feels pretty minimum viable product, if I'm honest. But towards the end, the kind of the emotional arc and how anxiety is having an effect on Riley and her relationships with her friends is well done, actually. And this kind of anxiety storm thing at the end, it works. It works. I don't feel like it's got anything necessarily profound to say, but it definitely connects. Like, Lottie has a fair bit of anxiety about things, and she's 10, for fuck's sake. So see what the next few years are going to be like. But and so she related to a fair bit of this. I don't know what a 5-year-old would make of it. And there were a lot of younger kids in our audience, and I'm assuming a lot of younger kids in audiences generally. But yeah, it feels like the concept maybe pushing a little bit towards preteen, and I would, maybe there's just enough colourful stuff and funny stuff that the younger kids would still be amused. But I do wonder. But then again, the box office results kind of speak for themselves at the moment. It's decent. Yeah, I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 compared to a 4.5 out of 5 for the first one. But it's certainly not bad. Also certainly not bad. A bit of a Netflix hit over the last couple of weeks. Under Paris.
Didn't you watch this, Bex?
I started watching it. I've not got to watch the end of it. I was really fucking enjoying it though. Yeah.
All right. Kind of half tempted to talk about it next week then. I I enjoyed it. It is gnarly. It's pretty fucking depressing as well, actually, I won't lie. How far have you got, Bex?
Try to find out now. Netflix has been weird.
Have they got under Paris yet?
They've... I think it's just got to the bit where, you know, the eco people that tried to link up with her have just been arrested for being in the water.
Oh, okay, so you're still pretty
early. Yeah.
Right, okay, no, fair enough. I won't say too much then. I will say it's definitely got the gnarliness what you wish the Meg had, but maybe it could have been doing with being like more fun like the Meg was. This film is obviously directed by like the Xavier Gens, you know, like I mean the motherfucker directed Frontiers, you know, like he can do some nasty shit. It's pretty nasty. We'll talk about it when you've seen the rest of it. But yeah,
I actually think Mark would quite enjoy this, so I think.
I think you would as well, Mark. Actually,
again because it's about. Well, it's a little while since I watched the first bit of it.
I'll give it a go.
And I was watching it at work. I'd rather watch it on a proper TV, but it'll have to be a day when you're happy to read a movie.
That's fine.
Just the ending kind of ends and then kind of comes up with the title card at the end. I was just like, fucking hell. Okay then. So we'll talk. Yeah, okay. Let's talk about it next
we'll
week.
Watch it. We'll make sure to watch it. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Even
right,
Stephen
nice
King's given it a big up on Twitter.
Nice.
It feels like an ending that you don't necessarily see a lot these days. And I don't know, mate. Yeah, I'll leave it there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Cool. That's me.
Oh, cool.
So, Twitter questions.
Yeah, we've got 3.
Cool.
Rip Kid. I've just put my phone down in a position where I couldn't read it. Watched Atlas the other day. Blimey, that was dire. I can remember Jennifer Lopez doing a couple of good performances out of Sight in the Cell. Atlas was not one. So what are the best performances by bad actors?
Oh, fuck me.
I actually wouldn't say either of those for her, for the best ones. If I'm thinking...
What do you think is her best one?
Isn't she in U-Turn?
She's not great in U-Turn, though.
But it's a great film.
You've got
She's good in that stripper one from a few years back.
Hustlers, yeah? Yeah, she's decent in that.
Oh, it's a shit film, though.
But yeah, bad actors who've actually been good in something. I'm trying to think. I think it was normally shit, but actually happens to be good in something. I mean, you get these occasional performances where you get comedic actors end up being quite good in stuff, but I think often comedy actors are deemed as being shit when they're actually not.
I mean, what are like commonly acknowledged shit actors?
Yeah. I'm going to Google bad actors and see what it comes up with. Bad actors. Bad actors. Images. Oh, Steven Seagal, that's fair enough. Yeah, I don't think he's ever been good at anything. Hulk Hogan. He's one that's there.
It's an interesting list, this, where the first 2 you've read out are Steven Seagal and Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. Wait, that's Amazon. Why is Amazon trying to give me bad actors? Oh no, that's a book called Bad Actors.
Toby Jones been good for you in anything, Mark?
Yeah, Toby Jones has been good in things, to be honest.
What's that one where he listens to stuff?
Bavarian
Sound Studio.
Sound Studio. He's good in that, yeah. Katie Holmes is good in The Gift, and I think she's a bad actress.
Oh, I love The Gift.
Yeah, I can't think of it. That's a good question, that though. I can't. There's nothing that I'm struggling to think of bad actors. There's actors that I hate, but it's bad actors as such. I'll have a think on that one. Dylan Black Lanterns.
Yeah, like,
come on.
Sorry, yeah, actors that I hate, like Reese Witherspoon in Wild. You know, boom.
That's a fair
Legally
one.
Blonde. But anyway, yeah.
Justin
it's a good
Timberlake
question.
in Black Snake Moan.
He's shit in Black Snake Moan.
Is he?
Yeah. Yeah, he's really shit in Black Snake Moan.
Ooh, Timberlake?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he is.
He is.
What about Social Network?
He's good in Social Network.
Alright, then that. But he's also. Yeah, alright. Maybe he's not that bad.
Dylan Black Lanterns. Football's on, and to me that means coats up nitwits having a tear up. With that in mind, how many of the 6 Rise of the Foot Soldier films have you seen? None.
I think I've actually seen the first one. I think I have.
I've not. I avoid those films like the plague.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a
Pretty wild, there's 6 of them.
series of basically football hooligan gang films.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah, no. I mean, I'm not even watching much of the Euros, and I'm a football fan. I've not watched a single
Rise
full
of the
match.
Foot Soldier Origins.
Yeah.
I mean, these are some incredible names. So, Rise of the Foot Soldier, and then Rise of the Foot Soldier Part 2, Rise of the Foot Soldier 3, the Pat Tate story.
Isn't Rise of the Foot Soldier 2 Reign of the General?
It just says Part 2 on...
Yeah, it's Part 2 Reign of the General.
But then you got Rise of the Foot Soldier 4, Marbella.
Yep. I wonder what happened to that one.
I said I'm going to click through. Fresh out of prison, Pat Tate steps right back into his Essex nightclub, but still disgruntled, he soon sets out to Marbella to revenge those that put him away for 5 years. While in Spain, Pat cannot turn away from the opportunity to score the biggest drug deal of his life. Hang on, I don't know who's written this. Later on in this, revenges are made, and Tony and Carlton walk Nigel Benn out to what turns out to be one of the most tragic fights in history. What?
Yeah, Nigel Benn. It's someone. It's not. Yeah, fucking just go on then.
And played by his son, Connor Ben.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Vinnie Jones is the next one, because of course he is.
What is that? Origins?
Yeah.
And he plays Bernard O'Mahony.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm thinking?
Keith Allen's in it. Sorry.
Do you know I'm thinking of rewatching that? I don't know whether it's a good idea, but I remember really disliking it at the time and I want to give it another go.
What?
Les Mis.
That's weird that Rise of the Foot Soldier made you think of Les Mis.
I mean, to be fair, Rise of the Foot Soldier Vengeance has got a pretty who's who of British direct-to-video gangster shite.
Yeah.
Craig Fairbrass, Phil Davis, Jeff Bell and Jamie Foreman. You might not know Jeff Bell or Jamie Foreman by name, but Google them, you'll fucking know immediately.
Yeah. It's Sadie
My
Frost in that one as well.
God. Is she really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't see it. Oh, no. Yeah, there she is. And Tara Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's actually not an awful cast.
It's not. But I mean, The Guardian gave it 3 out of 5.
Do I need to...
No.
No, I don't. No, I really don't.
It's the answer.
I don't.
No, you don't. I've not watched any of these ones. I tried to not watch them. What else have we got going on? Jordan McGrath asks, I am currently sweating my flabby tits off by the side of a pool in Turkey. What are some great uses of sweat or sweaty characters in film?
I've got to be honest. I think a great sweaty character in film may be in Rise the Foot Soldier Part 2. Big Nasty plays a character called Bob.
I'm gonna have Gary Oldman in Leon.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's real sweaty in that.
He is real sweaty in that.
What's his fucking character's name? Again, another film I first watched on Laserdisc.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels very Laserdisc adjacent.
Yeah,
film,
when it was Stansfield is called, isn't it? When it was just it wasn't called Leon, it was called The Professional.
The Professional.
Yeah.
Oh, sweaty people in films. I mean, fucking Liotta towards the end of Goodfellas.
Oh, that's another good shout. Yeah. Yeah, he gets very sweaty, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Go on, Bex.
And I'm sure Geordie's only sweaty because of the sun and not because he's a coke addict.
George just fucking cuts off his fucking tits in Turkey.
Oh god, he'd be a menace.
He fucking would. Any Bex?
No.
Any real sweaty film roles?
No, I can't think of any.
I'm also going to throw in...
No, go on. Sorry, I just had another good one, I think, but go on.
Sharon Stone in Total Recall.
Miles Dyson in Terminator 2, where he's fucking... I can't hold it much longer.
He's going. He's having a sweat out there.
He's fucking dripping then, isn't he?
Yeah.
I can't think of any films where
That was our questions for this week. Good questions this week, guys. Well played.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are we covering next week, Ian?
The Rise of the Foot Soldier film.
Because watching 6 of those will be less time spent than watching A Kind of Kindness and Horizon.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, yeah. So we had a little bit of a production discussion before the start of the show. Quiet Place Part Day 1 is only an hour and a half long. So, I believe. So, yes, please, let's go. It's one of the big summer blockbusters. It's directed by the guy who directed Pig. You know, that could be interesting. Horizon is just too long for a week where Kinds of Kindness is also out, and I will watch Kinds of Kindness over Horizon any day of the week, quite frankly. So I think we're going to be doing Quiet Place and Kinds of Kindness. We will try to do Horizon the week after. But also, being real, that film is going to make fuck all, and it is going to be on VOD within a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So, we'll get to Horizon at some point.
Yeah.
Okay, so, thank you very much for listening, folks. Thank you very much, Becky.
Thank you very much, Ian.
Thank you very much, Mark.
Thank you very much, Ian.
Jason, buddy, hope filming on your SNL film has gone appallingly. Looking forward to it getting loads of coverage and making no money. How's Frozen Empire doing, dude? Kind of feels like it's made an okay amount of money. Are Sony banging down your door asking you for a new screenplay? I certainly hope not. Fuck you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.